Okay, guys, looks like we're live. Happy Halloween. Let's give it a couple seconds to see if anyone joins us. Says we're live. I said I wanted it to go live at 8 o'clock, and I'm still kind of new to this. Okay, all right, we got one thumbs up and two people here. Who's here? Say hello. Let me change the window here. Hey, Andrea. Hey, Tanya. Good to see you guys. Hey, Justin. Welcome to the chat. Happy Halloween. Happy Friday night, guys. Mitch, Scott, Edward, EE, Monkey727. How's it going? Anyone else going to a Halloween party tonight? JC, Kamar, Marcus, what's up, guys? Carlos, how's it going? RV Jackpot, that's a good name. Hey, Mitch. Got to work tomorrow. Got to work on Saturday. That's a bummer. I guess maybe, with Halloween being the 31st, potentially people are maybe saving it for Saturday nights. Yep, JT, you guessed my outfit. This is my Halloween. Like a good neighbor. State Farm is there. I'm Jake from State Farm. That's my costume. EECRS, I always recommend for people to go 100% C funds. They perform about the same, but between the C and the S funds, the S just is more volatile. Hey, Ruben. Hey, Raymond. Hello from Texas. I'm in North Dakota, so hello from North Dakota. Anyone got any questions? What do we want to talk about tonight? Can you say hi to me again? I love when people say hi to me. Hi, Tanya. Good to see you. Hey, Jake, what do you think about SPY hitting a new all-time high today? It's just the Fed pumping money into the system. They're going to taper soon, eventually. This $100 billion worth of buying of U.S. Treasuries, it's what's fueling all of this. How do you have so many tapestries? They're for sale on Amazon. They're really cheap. I've got like 20 of them. They're like $20 each. So this is a window for those of you guys who didn't know, and I think having a tapestry up is better than just showing the blinds. RV, you're in West Virginia. Hello. Carl is watching from New York. Ruben, thoughts on Rocket Lab? I've never heard of Rocket Lab. I don't know anything about it. EE, do you see a stock market crash? No, I don't. I see more of a contraction eventually occurring with the Fed either raising interest rates and hopefully they stop buying U.S. Treasuries. We're not going to see like a flash crash or anything crazy. I think there'll just be kind of like this squiggling down effect. Like maybe the market will only be down net 10% next year or something, but nothing crazy. Jake, we need more Robinhood videos like spreads. They're coming. My brokerage account challenge that I'll be starting on January 1st will be in my Robinhood account. So I'll be making lots more Robinhood videos. All right, I know I'm going to get asked this question, but Carl is asking me what's going on with Alibaba. It's still technically above its 20-day moving average, so I'm not worried. But as soon as it falls, like if it's not green on Monday, then Alibaba's in trouble. So I feel kind of bad that, oh, wait a minute. Let's see here on its 20-day. No, if you look at its 20-day moving average, it's right on top of it. So Monday is going to be pivotal. Hey, cool dude. Happy Halloween. Let's see. Monkey, you lost 24,000 Wednesday doing options on Lamb Research. Oh, geez. All right. Chat is picking up, guys. Eliza, Jail, which video shows me how to start investing account on Fidelity or in Vanguard? Check out my channel. I have a playlist for Fidelity. I also have a playlist for Vanguard. DJ Crown, what is your favorite credit card? That is the Hilton Aspire card. I feel like between the hotel credits and the free nights plus the travel credit, tremendous value. Plus you got priority pass and good travel protections. We got our first super chat. Connor, thank you so much for the $4.99 super chat. What is your question here? Time to start off again. Thoughts on the insanity of Tesla this week? I'm not going to bet against Tesla, but I'm not I don't get it. Like, I've gotten it the last 2 years, guys. Like, when you look at the fundamentals, like, think about this Hertz deal, which made it shoot up 10% in a day. Uh, Tesla is now market cap of 1.1 trillion, and its market cap went up by 100 billion. How many cars did Hertz say they were going to buy? Something like, like 100,000 cars at $40,000 each. So how does like a $6 billion purchase increase their market cap by 100 billion? I don't get it, guys. I just don't get it. But for anybody holding it and making money, I'm happy for you. Hey, Jake, what's your favorite robo-advisor, or do you even recommend them? I don't recommend robo-advisors. You can go with one, but the problem with robo-advisors is they're just going to give you a pretty generic portfolio, probably give you some bonds, probably give you some international stocks. I personally don't recommend that. I feel like the S&P 500 or a total stock market index fund is all you really need. So for that reason, I don't recommend robo-advisors. But if you want a balanced, 3-part portfolio, which, professional advisors will recommend, you can go with that. It's not a big deal. Raymond, what has you so optimistic about things? Well, you got to be more specific, Raymond. Optimistic about my life? I'm always optimistic about my life and what I'm doing, because that's what I have the most control over. But things I don't have control over, I try not to worry about. Larry Summers, Tesla will have its robots ready next year and in production by the end of the year. It's AI company that sells cars to get by. I don't know, Larry. We're still waiting for the Tesla Roadster, the Tesla Semi, the Tesla Cybertruck. Tesla is really good at hyping themselves up, but they have yet to deliver on a lot of stuff that they keep talking about. So next year might become 5 years from now. I don't know. Jake, what do you think about Dogecoin and Shiba Inu or whatever? It's the latest pump and dump. Whatever you guys want to participate in. If you can time it just right, great. You can 10x your money by buying Dogecoin and then selling at the top, or buying AMC, or buying GameStop, or any of these stocks. They're all pump and dumps. Now they take place over 3 to 6 months. So in real time, it doesn't feel like it. You think this might be a good long-term investment, but literally none of them are good long-term investments, guys. Wayne official, Jake, even though everything is going up, PNW seems to be at 5 years lows. It's a utility company. What gives? Let's see here. PNW, let's look it up. Yeah, that's in a very strong downtrend. I don't know anything about the company or its fundamentals, but if you want to wait for it to bottom out, wait for it to stop falling, could be a good purchase. Edward, thoughts on the metaverse? I really should make a video about this, because as much as I hate Facebook, I do love the Oculus Quest. I have the Oculus Quest 2. I think it's a pretty cool piece of technology. I've got a couple games on there that I really enjoy. And I feel like it can get better. I feel like when the Oculus Quest 3 comes out, maybe in like 2 years, maybe, I think Facebook, or Meta, as they're calling themselves, will make a huge leap forward in VR and augmented reality technology. I can see what is possible with this VR headset. So I think Mark Zuckerberg is ridiculous. I wish he wasn't the voice and the face of whatever they're trying to do, because I think he's doing more harm than good at this point. But I wouldn't bet against it. I wouldn't bet against whatever this metaverse is going to be. Hey, Mark, happy Halloween. City Custom Cash, Chase Freedom, Capital One for restaurants. Well, the Custom Cash wins. It's a no annual fee, 5%, if you want to dedicate it to just restaurants. Eliza, what NKOs do I need to complete to be able to use TA? I'm not following NKO. I don't know what you mean by NKO. Ruben, Shiba Inu, or whatever it's called. It's going to peak at some point. I don't know when that'll be, and then everyone's going to take their profits. If you're still holding it, like that Dogecoin millionaire that Andre Geek and Graham Stephan keep promoting. I mean, that guy had over $3 million at one point, and now as Dogecoin keeps going down, he won't sell. He's just losing it. I don't know how much he's at yet, but take some profits, dude. Let's see here. Jake just started learning about investing. I really enjoy your show and format. Thank you so much, Brian. I greatly appreciate that. Raymond, how do you feel about a crypto ETF? Well, for people that want to invest in crypto, maybe in an IRA, now you can do it. You can buy this ETF. So I've made 2 videos on my channel talking about crypto, guys. Full disclosure, I don't own any. If you don't understand something, then don't invest in it. And I'm just not going to chase hype. I want to see what's going to happen in the next 5 years before I decide whether or not I think crypto will stick around. Jake, what percentage drop would you like to see on SPY to start loading up on LEAPS? If the entire market, if SPY were to go down by 20 or 30%, I would sell everything and just buy 2-year LEAPS. The chances that in 2 years it wouldn't recover or go back up, I just find that very remote. So yeah, if you're not familiar with LEAPS, it's a very safe form of buying options, very far out in the future, very deep in the money, and you're basically 2xing your return if the market recovers. Jose, thoughts on Altasource? I haven't looked at it. I made that video when they made a press release. I know it's gone down a little bit in the last 2 weeks, but until there's news, nothing's going to happen. It's still above its 20-day moving average, which is just what stocks in an uptrend do. As soon as they get back to their 20-day. So with Altasource, it's actually been waiting until it gets back to its 50-day, and then somebody steps in and buys it. Man with a plan, did you get your VA disability rating? I'm trying to out-process the military right now, and I don't want to complain about my job, guys, but if there's ever a reassurance that I'm not making a mistake by getting out of the military, it's going through the process of getting out of the military. I cannot believe how unhelpful all of these base support are. Nobody wants to answer your call. No one will respond to your email. Nobody's trying to help you. So I'm pretty frustrated. With VA disability, I'm not going to be able to even start the claim process probably until I get to Vegas. The process takes like something ridiculous, like 6 to 9 months. And you have to be in the same spot. So if I leave North Dakota, I leave the States, then they're going to make me start over. So they told me, don't even start it until you're out and you're in Nevada. Whew. Ace Channel, how is your SPY put doing? Well, SPY kept going up the last 3 days, so I'm down a couple $100 on that debit spread that was Wednesday's video. But once again, I just need the market to pull back next week during the Fed meeting or on the 19th when all the monthly contracts are due. SPY was up 7% this month in October. That is insane. The entire market went up 7%. So at some point, it's got to pull back. I just hope it doesn't keep going up. Hourglass Trades, you have great insights. Thank you so much. Danny, can you do a stock review of Nokia? They just had earnings. I'll look at the chart. I don't know anything about Nokia. I mean, I know what it is. I know it's a defunct phone company. It's at 568. I know that this was one of the meme stocks that traders were targeting last February or March. So without even looking at the fundamentals, it's probably overvalued. Let's see here. Did you add to your HCI position? Yes, I did. So it's now 20% of my Schwab accounts and actually 10% of my IRA. I'm feeling very confident that when HCI announces the IPO deal of TipTap that there's going to be a huge buying frenzy. It's probably going to shoot up 10% in one day on the announcement. Hourglass Trades, what made you choose Vegas? I want to live in a big city with a relatively affordable cost of living, with fun things to do, in a warm climate, in a state without state income tax. So I was looking at Texas, Florida, and Nevada. I chose Vegas. Okay, thoughts on covered call ETFs like Q Yield and Newsy? Though they don't work for some reason. You can look at their returns, and I think especially since the COVID crash, covered call. First of all, the last 2 years have not been normal for the market. If you've been selling covered calls the last year and a half, you've been losing money because the market's only gone up. It's when the market's in a bear market or downtrending that you're really gonna be glad you were selling covered calls and earning premium. But those funds, if you just look at them, the last 2 years have done terrible because every time they sell a covered call, it's a losing bet. Okay, Juhi, what do you think of Shiba? I'm not participating. I'm not a crypto trader. I don't buy any cryptos. I think it's a pump and dump. It's going to get a lot of, like both Graham Stephan and Andre Geek posted videos about it. Everybody's buying in. It's probably going to get bigger than Dogecoin. And then people are going to start selling out, taking profit, and forgetting about it. Nobody's going to be talking about Shiba Coin 6 months from now. Okay, there's another channel with a huge cult following for SPIR. SPIR, Spire Global. Never heard of it. Looks, just from the chart, that looks like a nightmare. I wouldn't touch that. Are you done with your dead hand option swing for the future? You did still make a profit during a pullback. That's great content. Guys, if I had stuck with the dead hands, I would have had 200 shares of SPY up, 7% over October, plus the two calls always riding it back up. I mean, I'm definitely out probably about $8,000 or $9,000 by stopping the dead hand challenge. But you can't think about that. You can't live like that. You just have to move on to what's next. Brad Weber, should I still put all of my TSP funds in the C funds? Yep, but if you move it to the C funds, leave it there no matter what. If the market starts going down, don't go back to a life cycle fund, don't go back to the G fund. There until you turn 60 years old, and then it's your best chance of maximizing your returns in the TSP. Eliza, everyone needs to watch the "If Crypto Was Honest" video. I've never heard of that. I could check that out. That'd be funny. Alex, famous last words. Yeah. Tommy Boy, Nvidia has been my savior for the past year and saved me from big loss. I've never traded Nvidia, but man, I looked at the chart today and it's on a tear. It's definitely in a breakout. It's probably going to have a pullback, but I definitely think the strong uptrend will continue. So if you're holding Nvidia, that's a good trade. What do you think the chip shortage, how tech hardware stocks will do next? I don't know. Even if they expand production of chips, I don't know how they keep up with demand. There's so much money in the system. Everything's overheating, guys. Like, there's a labor shortage, supply chain issues. I mean, these are quality problems because everybody right now in the market in everything is making money. But at the same time, you just have to manage all these limitations and constraints. Jay Half, thoughts on the Tesla pump this week? I don't understand why. As soon as they announced that Hertz deal, I'm seeing all these Tom Brady commercials on YouTube and on TV. Like, they don't even have any Tesla cars in their fleet yet. Yet this Hertz commercial is Tom Brady, charging himself with an electric charger, picking up his Tesla at Hertz. It's just PR. Honestly, that purchase could fall through. Like, Hertz went bankrupt last year. When you look at their cash flow, like, they can't even afford this purchase. I know it's going to be a certain number of vehicles over a certain number of years, but anytime there's news, people run for the door and just buy Tesla. Thoughts on Lion Electric? I don't know anything about it, so I've never looked at it. LEV, let's look at their stock price. It's in a downtrend. Looks like it peaked at 22.50. It's now lost basically 50% of its value. Sounds pretty much like all the other third-party EV stocks. Justin Armstrong, what's your favorite book on investing? General Finance. I got to go with Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I'll be honest, as far as like investing, I haven't found a book that, I've read lots of books, but I've never read a book that I'm like, wow, this taught me how to market today. Like I've read the classics like The Intelligent Investor by Benjamin Graham, and I read a bunch of books from the 90s, but it just doesn't seem relevant in 2021 given how much the landscape is changed. Everybody talks about bonds. Like I just finished the book When Genius Failed about long-term capital and their collapse. This is a hedge fund, the largest hedge fund in the world that collapsed in the 90s. And the market just revolved around bonds for the longest time. And I feel like investing today and trading today, nobody cares about bonds. Megatron, what do you think of DWAC? Pump and dump. Everybody bought it and then everybody sold it. So, I mean, if you think you can time that perfectly, yeah, I mean, trade it. I wouldn't invest in it. There's literally no specifics, no details. DWAC got as high as 157. It's now selling for 67. This on news, this could shoot back up to 150. There's no reason why it wouldn't, but I'm not going to bother with something that unpredictable. How did you learn to do stock analysis? Watching YouTube videos. Just being honest with you guys. I wish I had a person or a mentor, but you know, in Minot, North Dakota, I can't really say I've gotten a lot of time to trade with other people or talk to other people in person. Alex, have you ever fired a real missile? Unfortunately, no. But there are missileers that have. 4 times a year, they do test launches of the Minuteman III intercontinental ballistic missile out of Vandenberg Air Force Base in California. And there are missileers, so I know people who have gone to California for a test launch, and they've gotten to key turn to launch a missile, obviously, that doesn't have a live warhead, but they launch it at the Marshall Islands to see performance and accuracy and all that good stuff. Mr. Doormat, advice for new YouTubers: just keep posting, man. You know, you're going to make videos that you think are amazing. The algorithm is going to completely ignore them, and you're going to get discouraged. But I post every 48 hours. Every other day, guys. I'm going to post like 160 videos this year. And I've spent a lot of time and effort on some of them that didn't get a lot of views, but you just have to view it as a numbers game until the algorithm just picks it up. Oh, we got a super chat from Carl. Hey, Carl. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Thoughts on Big Five Sporting Goods Store, ticker symbol BGFV. Let's do it here. BGFV. We'll check the fundamentals too on FinViz. So we got BGFV. Sorry, I'm trying to get the chart up here. Actually, it looks like it's consolidating. All 4 of the the 20, the 50, and the 100-day moving averages have all lined up. So there's lots of good support, and the 200-day is currently catching up. So yeah, I mean, if they have good news, okay. PE is only 4.99. That looks undervalued, and the technicals look great. It looks like it's due for a breakout. So that's a good recommend. I haven't looked at that one before. See, we got Abdel. Jake, you think inflation will continue to rise, or do you have fears of deflation? And how bad could it be? We got inflation. It's going to be hopefully inflation between maybe 5, 6, 7%, probably for the next couple of years. If the Fed stops buying U.S. Treasuries, they've already committed probably to raising interest rates next summer. So that's coming up in 7 months, but they might have to be more aggressive or do more sooner if inflation gets worse, which I think it will be, but I don't think there's any kind of like apocalyptic scenario where we're going to have like gas shortages or energy shortages. I mean, the fact that like people are like, I can't get vanilla Coke Zero at the grocery store right now. I don't know where it is. I Googled, where is my vanilla Coke Zero? And apparently there's an aluminum shortage. So they can't can as many sodas. So the beverage companies have like stopped canning certain beverages. Like, that's a weird problem to have, but I can live without live without my preferred beverage. Benjamin Sparks, how is your debit spread looking today? I don't know. We can pull it up. Let's see how much I'm down on that debit spread. It's not a big deal because, however much it goes up, like SPY goes up, I just have to cover that back down should the market have a pullback. So overall, on my long legs, I'm down 1100, and on my short legs, I'm up 750. So yeah, I'm down $400 on that debit spread. So the max I could lose is 1600 or something, and I'm down 400. But I'm feeling confident, guys. I think by November 19th, the market will have a pullback. Nam, welcome to a live chat. I don't know if I've seen you before. For those of you who don't know Nam Win, we started our YouTube journey together. He is tremendously successful doing YouTube full time right now. So always happy to have him stop by the channel. Where are we at here? Chates, how bad do you think Tesla will drop? Do you think 950 after the decay of options run their course? I think Tesla will for sure pull back to at least 1,000. Like Tesla, it then kind of fought as it leveled supports until it collapsed, probably about a third, and then back up. Larry D, thank you so much for the super chats. Best wishes from an old Marine. Oh, I thank you so much, Larry. I greatly appreciate that. You don't have a question? Is there anything you want to ask me? Let me know if you've got a follow-up here. Larry Summers, next week will be market drop, Fed days November 2nd and 3rd, possible taper. I think it's a guaranteed taper. I mean, they might not start tapering in November, but I think they're going to announce tapering to start in December or January. Like they'll announce when they're going to start, and they're just going to reduce how much they're buying every month. So right now they're buying 100 billion in US Treasuries. They could reduce that to 80, then 60, then 40, 20, and eventually get off of it. Man with a plan, can you explain dark pools and payment for order flow? No, I can't. I mean, I've watched some YouTube videos about order flow. Basically, there's a big fund that owns a lot of shares of everything. And when you fill your order with like Robinhood, they know what the bid ask spread is. So they're basically, charging you a penny anytime you get in and out. And instead of the true buyer or seller on the other end from the New York Stock Exchange, they're the middleman collecting those nickels and pennies. We're not paying trade commissions on these trade guys. I think Robinhood is a pretty good deal, and they got to make money somehow. So, but I don't know if there's anything more nefarious happening. I just don't have any expert knowledge on that. Thoughts on Bill Ackman's SPAC with Pornhub? Julius Caesar, I don't know anything about this. I do know that Pornhub has to be a gold mine. I don't know how much traffic that website gets, but isn't it like a Canadian company? Like, isn't it based out of Canada or something? But no, I wasn't tracking on any kind of SPAC with that. That would probably get some interest on day one if that's been announced. Joey, have you ever joined Navy Federal? I have not. I don't have any Navy Federal credit cards. My checking account is with USAA. So that maybe someday I'll get one of their products. Larry, I bought lots of puts today. I mean, depends. I definitely think the market's overbought, and there will be a 1 or 2% pullback at some point in the next 2 weeks. So let's see where that goes. Benjamin Sparks, what are your thoughts on monthly SPY vertical spreads? Always bet that SPY will rise. If you were to do that, you'd make a lot of money. The last 2 years, the market has pretty much only gone up. So there's lots of investors that only trade SPY, and all they do is debit spreads. They wait for a pullback. They then bet huge. And a debit spread is basically leveraging leverage. Options are a form of leveraging. And when you just stack it up to collect the premium in a certain range, you can, 100x more than if you were just buying the stock. It's something I've considered. Okay. Thoughts on XRX? Xerox? I looked at this stock when I was doing my trading challenge earlier this year. I like Xerox. Whoa, they had a huge sell-off. That's crazy. Okay. So it was around $25 and it's currently at 17. I don't know anything about the fundamentals. I don't know if it's a value play. Maybe I don't know how big Xerox is, but maybe some other company just wants to acquire them and that would be a beneficial deal for them and for whoever wants to acquire them. All right, here we go. Pop culture reference. Have you seen Dune? This is a question from It Don't Matter. I saw Dune. I loved it. I felt like it was a visual and auditory feast. I've never read the books. I'm not like a particular fan or anything. I don't really like science fiction, and I thought it was a very well-made movie, and I want to see more. I think have the book and the movie from the 80s and the series in the 90s have its own cult following in the sci-fi genre, but this movie, if they can make a good second and third parts, I think there's tremendous potential. I actually rewatched Dune, and it's one of those movies that you can just have on in the background, and it's kind of comforting. It's kind of like people who binge Lord of the Rings. Like if they can make a good second and third film, I think it could get to that level. Where are we at? Benjamin Sparks, but I'd debit better than credits. But is debit better than credit? So debit spreads can make you more, but have a lower probability of success. Credit spreads make you less, but have a higher chance of success. Any thoughts on big companies like Visa? Last time I looked at Visa, it looked like it was in a downtrend. Yeah, wow, huge sell-off. Look at Visa. I'd have to look at the fundamentals to see if there was anything of value happening there. What do you think of PayPal at this price? PayPal has a humongous multiple it's trading at. Whoa, a huge sell-off of PayPal. Wow. So this thing peaked at 308 and it's currently 232. It's almost down over 30%. I don't know anything that's going on with the PayPal guys. But once again, I would not buy that because that is in a death spiral right now. KCS New. Jake, what do you think about this kind of high volatility, especially Microsoft going up in one day despite earnings? Historically, some of the stocks exploding. Any thoughts? I actually like Microsoft. I think Microsoft is a buy right now. I think of all the mega cap stocks, Microsoft is experiencing the least scrutiny from government actors, both the United States and international governments. And with these software businesses, they're just printing money. Who has supply chain constraints? People who need physical parts, Apple and Tesla. Microsoft doesn't have any supply chain constraints. Maybe on Xbox they do, but LinkedIn and their other services, it's just software. Microsoft is in a great position. Bought NUSI shares because they pay monthly dividends. What are your thoughts on that? I don't know anything about NUSI. Nationwide Risk Management Income ETF. Sorry, I don't know anything about it. Larry Summers, Microsoft had great earnings. They did, and I don't see Microsoft slowing down. Kevin, happy Halloween. Thanks for the videos. Your option videos help me. Nice shirt. I got some like talking points from my State Farm. Where did I put the thing? I watched all the commercials. For surprisingly low rates that fit any budget, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. When you want the real deal, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. I'm going to a Halloween party tomorrow, so I got to memorize this just in the conversation. You might not expect blank, but you can expect State Farm to be there no matter what happens. It's called service. All right, where are we at here? Ride Smooth TV. What do you think about Facebook becoming Meta? I think it's a smart move. I can't stand Zuckerberg. I wish he wasn't the face of this new company or the face of anything. I think the company would be more successful if he were to transition out into some kind of emeritus role, not the face of the company anymore. But I have an Oculus Quest 2. I love my Oculus Quest 2. I do think there's tremendous potential. It does kind of feel like he saw the movie Ready Player One and saw the Oasis and was like, hey, I think that's what our company was doing anyways. Let's just basically steal that idea. What will the metaverse look like in 2050? Probably something like the movie or the book Ready Player One. Carl, great channel. Thumbs up. Thank you so much, Carl. Richard, oh dang, I was actually going to hire you as my insurance agent. That'd be funny. I mean, that's something I could probably do on the side. Maybe State Farm would hire. They probably would hire me. Richard, oh dang, I was actually okay. Edward, hilarious. With a plan. Okay. Brian Moon, eye tracking seems comforting. Is that something related to Oculus Quest? Yeah, they're tracking your eyes when you're in the VR headset. Hourglass Trades, did you lock your 30-year mortgage? I have a video coming out next week explaining what's going on with my mortgage and my house hunting activities. I think you'll enjoy it. What are your thoughts on Lucid? Lucid, is this an EV stock? Whoa. Okay. No clue why it shot up 20%, but good for them. I don't know anything about Lucid. Kevin, thoughts on Intel? I think Intel is undervalued. I think, Intel is a massive company. It used to be probably in the top 10, but obviously it's not anymore. What is the future of Intel? I think they just have to get a new chip. They have to, they're going to invest a lot of money into R&D to come up with what's next, or at least compete better with Nvidia and AMD and all these other companies. But I still think Intel is a value play. I've hinted that I favor the style of value investing, and there are other value investors on YouTube that are buying Intel. I'm going to wait for the technicals to indicate that the stock is recovering, and then at some point I'll say, hey, let's buy Intel. Hey, Tiger, I think you're maybe the first channel member. You guys might remember 3 weeks ago, I announced channel membership, and we had a couple dozen people sign up, so that's pretty excited. Tiger's got this little asteroid next to his name, and I guess his name is Green. So this is my first live chat with channel members. Lots of fun. I appreciate your membership, Tiger. Even Charles Schwab might hire you, Jake. It's tempting. It's tempting to, try and get a job at Wall Street or something and just be like, hey, here's my YouTube channel. I never went to any fancy Ivy League school, but I'm entirely self-taught and I'm offer me a job. I think the YouTube channel would not be particularly impressive to them, but the fact that I'm an Air Force officer and a veteran, lots of these Wall Street finance institutions like hiring veterans because it's good PR, and generally they're high performers. So part of me is thought, if I was 10 years younger, guys, getting out of the military, I probably would have done that, gone to Wall Street just to experience it for a year or two. I probably would have hated it. Like there's lots of things in my life that I've done that I've hated, but I've been appreciative of the experience. Like I'm glad I did that. That was difficult. I don't want to do that again, but kudos to me for putting up with that. Okay. Raymond, in your opinion, why is there so much gloom and doom concerning the stock market and the economy? It's because Chicken Littles just want to believe that, I think humans in general are more prone to worry than euphoria. Like people are more likely to think about what can go wrong than what can go right. This is just, I think, how the human psyche works. Now you can train yourself to think positive and to be forward looking, but I think in general, humans are risk averse when it comes to money, and obviously there's a contradiction there when you think about like gambling and stuff like that, but I think that's a very small percentage of the population. I think most people just don't want to take on risk. Like they lose sleep at night when they take on risk. So, people make these doom and gloom predictions, but I look at the last 150 years of free capital markets, and I'm like, it kind of only goes up. Like if you just buy and hold and don't panic, just you'll get through it. And if society collapses and government fails and it all comes crashing down, then none of it mattered anyways. So I can't worry about that. KCS New, currently, what do you do as your main job? I'm a missileer, so I'm one of the guys in 60 feet underground in a launch control capsule who waits for an order from the president to launch nuclear weapons. Turning keys. That's my job. Tiger, what do you think about buying to close contracts at 50% versus waiting longer, especially on SPY? Once you've gained 50% of the premium from any options contract, well, not if you're buying, but if you're selling and you've gained 50%, I would always sell to close, buy to close, because you've gotten the easiest 50%. Like the juice you can squeeze from that last 50 is the hardest. Like as you get closer and closer to 60%, 80, 90, you're not going to lose that last 10% until the last day of the contract. And you're assuming all this risk should the entire market turn against you. So anytime you're above 50, just close it. That's what I advocate. Aaron, did you get your VA claim back yet? I haven't even started it actually, and it's a headache. It's going to be a long, arduous process, and I'm probably not going to get my final verdict probably until next summer or fall. Now, when you make a VA claim, they're going to obviously give you compensation retroactively to the point where you made the claim. So I'm not losing any money, but it's not a fun process to go through. So I'm going to have to do the paperwork and just be patient. Thoughts on Qualcomm? In general, it's a great company. I think it's had a pullback recently. I think all the semiconductor stocks ran up huge last summer. Like Texas Instruments is another great company, and then they've all had a pullback. So it looks like QCOM is consolidating. All four of the moving averages are lining up, so it might trade sideways for a while. Let's see. Hey Jake, hope all is well. Where do you think the Russell is going in the next month? IWM. Oh, just the Russell 2000. I think the market is going to keep going up. As long as people have money, they're going to keep dumping it in stocks, regardless of the valuations. And the money supply is going to keep expanding, probably through next summer. I think the S&P is going to hit 5,000. It's currently at like what is the S&P 500 currently at? It's got to be at like 4,600. Yeah, we're going to hit 5,000 probably by Christmas or late January. Jake, do you have plans to continue doing videos on options at Robinhood? I do. On January 1st, I'm going to start a new 25,000 trading challenge. And last year I used Schwab. This year I'm going to use Robinhood because I know on YouTube it's more popular, more used. 7, what is your opinion, or in your opinion, what's the best crypto exchange? I don't have an opinion on any crypto exchange because I've never used one. I don't own any crypto. I've never bought crypto. I'm a wait and see kind of guy. There's so much volatility with it. I'm gonna wait until we hit a bear market or the money supply starts contracting. If if crypto does what it's supposed to do, and people hold it because it's a retention of value, even in a bear market. When stocks, which do buybacks, which pay dividends, when stocks go down, are people going to hold their crypto and keep buying crypto, or are they going to sell their crypto to buy stocks at a discount? I'm suspicious that as soon as we hit a bear market, people are going to sell their crypto to buy stocks because, once again, stocks have tangible value. You're buying shares of the equity of a company in the real world. They pay dividends and they do stock buybacks. Whereas People aren't going to like this. Crypto is inflationary. They're making new crypto every year. Obviously, there's a limited supply, and if demand can exceed supply, it's not a big deal. But I still don't understand crypto, and well, I'll wait and see. Daniels, me and my buddy are watching at the party we're at. Thanks for the good tips. Are you guys dressed up? What are you dressed up as, Daniel? Queso Fresco, is Boeing a good buy? No, probably not. Boeing eventually will get good news, like maybe China will order a bunch of planes, or some domestic carrier will order a bunch of planes, and Boeing will shoot up on that news. But I think their balance sheet and their debt is pretty bad. How long out would you set a sell put at the money to obtain a stock at a discount? 1 week? Minimum a month. I don't trade weekly options. I like to give myself a little bit more time, so I would recommend at least a month, unless you're confident that the stock is going to downturn this week. If you have a hunch and you want to play it, obviously, if it's a weekly, the option premium is cheaper, and you have the potential to make more money, but you just have a lower chance of success. Lynn, have you tried the Webull platform? No, I haven't. I've never mentioned Webull on my channel or spammed you guys with, signing up for 2 free stocks. I have too many brokerage accounts, guys. I've got Morgan Stanley, Fidelity, Vanguard, Robinhood, Schwab, and then the TSP. So do I just want to keep opening them just to try them? Like, I probably should try TD Ameritrade because it's pretty popular on YouTube, but I can't justify opening more brokerage accounts. Hey Jake, great videos, thank you. Is there a way to scam the stocks that give out high premiums for covered calls? That's a relative term. So the options prices can be influenced once again by time and implied volatility. So yes, you can screen stocks for high IV. And if it has a higher implied volatility, you'll be getting a higher premium if you sell a covered call on it. So yeah, actually you can screen for high premiums. Daniels, Carl from The Walking Dead. I've never watched Walking Dead, guys, so I don't know who Carl is. Nick, don't have any questions, but wanted to say I appreciate all your videos you make. Really helpful for someone new to the market. Well, thank you so much, Nick. I greatly appreciate that. It don't matter. Have you heard about DWAC? Yes. Yep. Everybody's talking about it. I mean, if you think you can time it right, you can jump in that, that river, torrent. I can't be at my computer trying to prevent a 40% drop in one of these SPACs. I just don't trade SPACs. Roberto, Coinbase comments? Yeah. How's the stock doing? Oh, it's up. Wow, Coinbase is like recovering. 319. I wonder why it's up so huge. So Coinbase went from 225 to 319. Good for them. Richard, my portfolio contains both stocks and crypto. Been using your vids to get more confident with stocks. Fantastic. Thank you so much, Richard. Evil Genius, good to see you. Webull is a better, more advanced platform than Robinhood, but it's definitely, less user-friendly. Robinhood is so simple. Like, Robinhood should be a little bit more detailed and complicated. Like, they should definitely have IRAs with Robinhood. So, their flaw might be they're too simple. TD Ameritrade is good, but I opened Webull. Okay. As someone in the defense space, what is your take on NPK? They pay a 15% annual dividend? No, they don't. That can't be. NPK. Well, it's fallen a lot. It's gone from 105 to 83. That's not that big. NPK. National. What is their dividends? I'm seeing a dividend of 1.2%. Not sure why you said 15. I don't think that's correct. Edward, do you see Robinhood going up in value or are they doomed? Here's the problem with all these SPACs and IPOs and smaller cap stocks is they want to issue new shares. They want to raise capital to pay their bills. Like they can either borrow money that costs them interest, or they can just issue new stocks and dilute you, the shareholder of the company. These companies don't care about you. If it's a SPAC or an IPO in their first year, they need money and they don't care where they get it. So, no, I don't think Robinhood is a buy. I never buy any stock, SPAC or IPO that's in its first year because they're issuing new stock. They're diluting you. Plus, there's lockup agreements. There's lots of people in Robinhood that were Series A, Series B, Series C investors, and they have lockup agreements where they can't sell their stock until the 6-month point or the 1-year point. So yeah, Robinhood is going lower. I mean, if I wanted to, I could buy 1-year puts on Robinhood and just be confident that I'm going to make money, but you never know. If Robinhood, if people on Robinhood start buying Robinhood for no reason, I can't predict that, and I can't stop them from doing that. Speak Korean. 안녕하세요. 저는 Jacob 입니다. 미국 사람 이에요. What 뭐라지? Like, what do you want me to say? Yeah, I speak a little Korean. Kevin Black, why can't vets sleep? The struggle is real, bro. I mean, in the last 4 years, I've spent over 300 days underground in a launch control capsule, trying to sleep down there, and it's loud and noisy, and humidifiers are all broke, and it's dry, and sometimes I have to be up all night. I think you could say stress, but you could also just say environments. Like sleeping in unfamiliar or uncomfortable environments, like that's not normal for people. People have always been meant to sleep in the same spot where they know they're safe and they're comfortable and they have it the way they like it. So there's so many jobs in the military that just require you, like, hey, go there, and when you find time, sleep. Well, that's gonna screw you up in the short term or long term. Alex, Webull is a Chinese-owned company. It's not like outright owned by a Chinese company. I think it's just like one of their serious investors is Chinese. I don't know. I don't know the backstory about Webull, but I'm sure they want to do an IPO and go public. Whew. Chates, how does a gamma squeeze work? Is that what Tesla is doing? When people talk about gamma squeeze, I don't know what they're referring to. Like, there's gamma, the Greek used with options contracts, but I don't think that's what they mean when they talk about gamma squeezing stocks. I don't know what those YouTubers are talking about. What do you think of Amazon and Nvidia? I think Amazon is overvalued. It's been overvalued for a while. Like, Amazon's been trading sideways for over a year within a certain range. Nvidia is probably the better buy. They're in a breakout, so they're probably going to hit new highs. Just keep going. Jake, what's your opinion on doing 60/40 CNS at the TSP? Yeah, I mean, if you want to do 60/40, CNS perform about the same long run anyways. So yeah, 60/40 is great. You can do that. Tommy Boy, where do you get the wonderful backdrops? You can go on Amazon and search Tom Pop Tapestry. Tom Pop Tapestry. They've got hundreds of these things, and they're only like $20. So if you want some very inexpensive wall arts, Tom Pop Tapestries on Amazon. Whew. Where are we at here, guys? We're almost coming up on an hour. KCS New, what is your cutoff if you are on the losing side of your spreads? I watched your videos, could not find when you close if you are on the losing side. Well, the whole point of that video for the debit spread video on Wednesday is I'm committed to losing all 1,600. Like, I'm not pulling the ripcord on this trade. Like, I think there might be another dip on the third Friday of the month because it's happened every month for like the last 8 months. Like, there's something really weird happening with the market where the third Friday is the monthly options contracts. And I don't I don't know if there's some conspiracy here, guys, where people like they run up the market a week before the weeklies are due, then they just stop buying or they sell off, and then they're buying the options to profit from withholding buying. That would be very difficult. Like the reason why I don't believe there's that many large conspiracies in the stock market is because you can't convince people to cooperate. Like whenever one fund or one company comes up with a strategy to get everybody, like Wall Street is like herding cats. Like there's no way you could get them all to agree on a scheme that would make them more money together, because they're all just so conniving. Like they would just stab each other in the back and do a counter strategy that would make more money in advance. So I don't know why the market keeps pulling back on the third Friday of the month when there's an options contract due, but I think it's going to happen again. Ooh, Hourglass Trades, your videos are great. Why is subscriber base not increasing exponentially? I think this is serious, Hourglass Trade. I think it's because I don't have all these stupid jump cuts in my videos. Like if my video started with like zooming into my face for like the first 5 seconds, and then I have like a second establishing shot, and maybe I toss in some music. Next year, when I'm doing YouTube full time, I will increase my production value, and that potentially could be what I'm missing. And I don't think it's necessary. I just want, somebody giving me the straight facts. That's what I look for. But some people need to be entertained or distracted, or there's something, when you have all these jump cuts and stuff, that it's kind of hypnotic. Like it keeps you kind of entranced. Like people, the average person, not you guys, anybody watching this, you guys are fantastic. But the average person might have a very short attention span. And with certain editing styles where basically it's never a single shot longer than 5 seconds, like for some people, it just keeps them engaged, keeps them locked in. So that's what I see coming. Tiger, don't do it. No jump cuts. I don't want to do it, but why am I not over 100,000 subscribers yet? I just do picture in a picture, talking to the freaking microphone. That's all I want to do, but I think I got to dress it up a little bit more. Thank you so much, Tiger. IBM is screaming value right now. Let's look at IBM. Whew, wow. Man, there was a bunch of stocks that just got crushed this last week on earnings. I wasn't even tracking this. Yeah, that's a huge drop for IBM. I don't know what happened there. JC, Jake, you are great men. People are going to start noticing eventually. Yeah, I'm not worried. And honestly, guys, I'm making pretty good money where I'm at and what I'm doing right now. Like, I'm not losing. I don't need 1 million subscribers. In fact, I don't want 1 million subscribers. I want to get to 100,000 so I get the silver play button, like, and I also get the verified check mark next to my name. That would be cool. But once I'm above 100,000, it doesn't matter to me. It's not an ego thing. It's not, I don't need that validation. Jake, I watched so many videos on YouTube about the options covered calls. You explain it the best. Kudos to you. Thank you so much. Like, I don't get it. There's only a couple channels that talk about options trading, and the algorithm, for whatever reason, will not recommend my stuff. Like, these videos, in my opinion, explain it simply. But, a channel like In the Money, he does a very good job of explaining it as well, but he's also very sarcastic and likes insulting people. I like his videos, but I don't know why. He's got the monopoly on options trading videos on YouTube. He's the #1 ranked thing for everything. Where are we at? Kimberly, where did you learn about investing, and what would you recommend for a beginner looking to learn? Kimberly, I'm entirely self-taught and primarily YouTube. There's lots of great YouTube channels. Just be very highly suspicious and skeptical. If you want a good place to start, there's a channel called Everything Money. It's a very simple formula they got going, but they crank out a lot of videos and they can give you the basics of value investing. I don't think their technical trading is that detailed, but if you want to learn about their fundamentals, I think that channel is a good place to start if you're looking for a recommend. Benjamin, super chats. In your opinion, where is the best place to invest $10,000 right now? Like a single stock? I mean, so Apple gave its earnings and there was a sell-off. I mean, not much, only like 3 or 4%. But Apple's fourth quarter, I think, is going to be huge. I'm thinking about making a video about this, but the new MacBook Pro is a big deal. The new 14-inch, 16-inch. And when you go on their website and you actually like input, I want this, I want this, I want this. Their 16-inch MacBook Pro, Pro Max, M1 chip Max, like all the things maxed out. It's like $6,000. And people are going to be buying these things. Like anybody who makes content professionally is buying a MacBook Pro. The new MacBook Pro, rich people, just because they want it, will probably be buying the MacBook Pro. They brought back the SD card slot. They brought back the iPorts. So I'm buying one. I need a new MacBook Pro just for the ports. So I think Apple is going to absolutely crush the fourth quarter this year. They've had some supply chain issues, which is why they dropped on their third quarters. They're going to report in January for their fourth quarter. I think it's going to be a monster. I think anything that they can build successfully because of the supply chain issue, they're going to sell. So $10,000, what's the safest bet that it will go up by January? I would recommend Apple. Margaret, channel member, good to see you. I'd listen to a podcast. I've already got the name for a podcast. It's the Jake Bro Show. Huh? That's a pretty good name, right? So I don't know if I would just load those like podcasts on the main channel or if I would start like a second channel. Like probably I would start a second channel, but this is a long-term plan, guys. Maybe in the future. I got to get set up and settled in Vegas first. David Smith, what YouTubers do you watch? There's lots of great channels that I really enjoy. Let's see here. Why don't I just put subscriptions and I'll just drop a bunch of names here. Let's see here. There's a channel called The Investor Channel I follow. He's pretty good at technical analysis. There's a channel called Investing Club. I told you guys I like Everything Money. I like Plain Bagel. Who else do I like? Learn to Invest. Obviously, In the Money. I already mentioned him as well. Brad Finn. He talks about options as well. Honest Finance. That's a good channel. Marco Whiteboard Finance. I like him too. Basically, YouTubers that don't promise you 10x returns. Like any channel that says the next 10x stocks. And I know I made one of those videos with Altasource, but if all they do is upload videos saying this is the next 10x stock, they're probably not offering you good financial advice. None of this is financial advice, mind you, entertainment purposes only, but there's a lot of channels out there with people just pump and dumps. They're not trying to help you out long term. Can't buy 100 shares of Apple. I need to step up my options game. Yeah. Big Bra Shaw. Thanks, Alex. Michael, what are your thoughts on Paul from Everything Money? He's a jerk. Like but that's his persona. Like I don't think in real life I could actually be friends with Paul. I like Seth. Seth is a magic guy, so I think Seth and I could be buddies. But Paul, I think, has been tremendously successful in his life, which makes him arrogant. And he's not wrong on many of his best practices. Like I like that he's always trying to learn new things and he's always trying to teach himself. He's willing to admit if he's wrong, but if Paul grates you the wrong way, you're not going to like the channel, but I can put up with Paul. Yep, Ben Felix, he's great too. Canadian guy, but he actually is a portfolio manager. So Ben Felix has good stuff. Megatron, keep up the great work. Don't change your honest opinion. That's the goal. Will you go to school with the GI Bill for finance? I will be using the GI Bill next year. If I do move to Las Vegas, then I'll enroll in the University of Nevada, Las Vegas to finish my master's. I was getting my master's online through the University of Nebraska, Omaha, but I stopped taking classes 2 years ago because I knew I was getting out. And I want to use the GI Bill to finish it, basically to collect the housing allowance. I think the BAH for Las Vegas next year will probably be like, $1,800, $1,900 maybe. So I'd rather, yeah, I'd rather not finish my degree online, finish it in person, and get the housing allowance. Zach, good to see you. Longtime viewer. You're at OTS right now. That's so exciting. Wow, you've been in this so long. Any tips off the top of your head that you didn't include a few months back? Zach, at OTS, the prior enlisted are going to be in charge of everything. Like, they're the only ones that know what's going on. They've already been through basic. They've already been through Airman Leadership School. So don't volunteer for anything. That's my advice at OTS. Like, if they ask for volunteers, let the priorees handle it because they know what the heck they're doing. So just try and learn as much as you can from them. You'll learn way more from the prior enlisted than you will from the actual cadre or the instructors. But it's a game. Don't let it stress you out. Don't worry too much about it. OTS is an experience, but just do what you need to do when you need to do it, and you'll be fine. That's a nice jab at Brian Jung. Is it better to invest everything in one index fund or many index funds? I mean, you can be as diversified as you want, but the S&P 500 index fund is already 500 companies. You're broadly diversified across 500 companies with a single ETF. So you don't really need to do anything more than that. You can if you want, but how much is it improving your portfolio performance? I don't know. Have you watched Invest with Henry? He has a lot of option videos. No, I've never seen that channel. I've never heard that channel before. ADT versus U-Haul or UHAL. Would you rather own 100 shares of smaller shares of a company or just I don't understand that question. So how much a share worth is irrelevant. So if a share is worth $10 or a share is worth $100, the number of shares you have is irrelevant. So, the market cap size is the only thing that matters. David, since Elias with Investing Club sold off ASPS, are you planning to do the same? Oh, snap. You watch Investing Club too. Yeah. So Elias sold off his ASPS, but I think it's because he needs money to invest elsewhere. Like, he only owns like 6 or 7 stocks, and he only wants to own 6 or 7 stocks. So he's choosing to sell ASPS for a profit to invest in something else. Now, when I bought ASPS in June, I committed to holding it 1 year. I want to see how this plays out. He's skeptical that the housing market could potentially have a correction. He did mention in the video, with the Evergrande scandal, potentially there are other real estate companies that might be in trouble that could shock the entire housing or real estate market worldwide. I don't know. I'm not ready to give up on ASPS until the technicals tell me that they're failing. Like, if it falls below its 100-day moving average, then I might bail on ASPS. I'll make that video if I do, guys. Week 2. Oh man, what are you doing on? What are you doing on YouTube? Do you even have YouTube privileges, Zach? At week 2. Star None, hello. Got to send your credit card info to someone going into the Air Force. Awesome, no nonsense content. Thank you so much. YouTube BBBE, do you invest in crypto? No, I don't. I don't own any crypto. I've never bought crypto. I made 2 videos on my channel talking about why I don't invest in crypto. I'm going to wait until the next bear market to see how crypto performs before I decide it's a long-term investment for me. Where are we at, guys? It's 9:08 Central, so I'm cruising here. Let's do maybe another 10 or 15 minutes. Oh, okay. So we got 122 people watching and only 60 thumbs up. If you're watching this, can you give me a thumbs up? Maybe it can help more people find the live stream. VOO or SPY, Tommy Boy, they perform the same. VOO has a lower expense ratio, but not as many people buy and sell options on VOO, which is why I go with State Street's SPY. The expense ratio is, I think VOO is 0.03 and SPY is 0.1, so it's 0.07%. It's a very, very fractional. It's like $7 a year for every 10,000 invested. So it's not a big deal, but because I trade so many options, that's why I prefer SPY. Tow Truck, love your channel. Thank you so much. Zach, LOL, this class has been surprisingly blessed with early privileges. We passed our pennant test today, so that's a big plus. Love all your financial military videos. My wife and I learned so much. Thank you so much, Zach. Tiger, did you get the chance to visit Vegas yet? What neighborhoods are you looking at? I have been to Las Vegas twice, and I'm looking at Henderson, but I'm willing to go anywhere really. I'll go for whatever is the best deal for me. Even though there are consumer supply shortages, do you like Rain or NWL? I don't know either of those stocks. Reynolds, consumer products like Reynolds Wrap, and a downtrend. All 4 of its moving averages are lined up and it's selling off. So if you're interested in Reynolds, wait for it to bottom out before you buy in. NWNL. Okay. Newell Brands. Wow. Once again, another downtrend. That is really interesting. So I guess anything with supply chain shortages is selling off huge. Both of those stocks are stuck in a downtrend. I wouldn't recommend either one. Brent, what finance-related YouTubers do you watch? Wow, that's multiple questions here. But I already mentioned, I like Plain Bagel. I like Ben Felix. I like Everything Money, a channel, the Investor Channel, Investing Club. There's lots of Brad Finn, In the Money, Honest Finance. I just don't follow YouTubers that just do pump and dumps. How many terrible companies do certain YouTubers talk about nonstop? And yeah, they're very exciting when they spike, but they're just slowly selling off. A good example is Beyond Meat. How many finance YouTubers talked about Beyond Meat endlessly, and it shot up huge? And what's Beyond Meat been doing lately? So Beyond Meat is down almost 50% from its high. If Beyond Meat is the future of food and eating, why aren't you buying more of it now when it's at a discount? Why are you buying it or telling people to buy it when it's at $170 a share, saying it's 10xing, it's going to the moon, and then you're not talking about it when it's at $80? Let's see. Summerlin is supposed to be nice. Yeah, Summerlin's nice. Okay. Pat Key, is it good time to buy leaps on big stocks like Apple, especially when they tank after earnings? I don't think Apple tanked. I mean, it sold off like 3 or 4%, and then it basically recovered. You're not going to get Apple at much of a discount. So if you were looking to buy a leap on one of the mega caps, I would recommend either Microsoft right now, buy it for 2 years out. You'll probably be profitable. Chates, have you tried Fidelity's Active Trader Pro options builder? How about a video using options there? I downloaded it. I looked at it once and I said, nah, I just have never used pro trading software. With Schwab, it's called Street Smart Edge. Everybody knows Thinkorswim's platform with TD Ameritrade. I just don't see the points. I just haven't gotten into. Maybe next year. I'll think about making a series of tutorials for the pro trading software that these brokerage companies offer. Do you think options are worth it for leveraged ETFs? I don't mess around with leveraged ETFs, guys. I made a video explaining the math of triple leveraged ETFs and why long term they don't work. If you want to trade them in the short term, you can, but in general, they're losing funds. Richard, please don't invest in plant-based junk food companies. Support local ranchers Yeah, that's a good message. I like to follow Meet Kevin. He reveals his portfolio. Meet Kevin. I feel like if I were to meet that guy in real person, in real life, I don't know. Like, he's so hyper. I don't know how he has so much energy. I mean, he's got like a family and kids, and he owns like 30 properties or something ridiculous. Like, and he makes 2 to 3, 4 sometimes videos a day. Like, how does he do it? I don't understand that guy. Any advice on Amgen? I think Amgen has good fundamentals. Last time I looked at it, but it's stuck in a downtrend. All 4 of the moving averages lined up. This company is a falling knife. Don't buy it until it bottoms out. What are your thoughts on University of Maryland Global Campus Finance degree? That is very specific. I guess it's probably because you're considering a program there. I don't know anything about the University of Maryland education system, Brad. Sorry. Genius, what financial considerations did you make while looking for a place to live? I got a video coming out this week. I don't want to spoil it. You can check it out once it publishes. Swing for the ring. Good to see you. If I make trades within my Roth IRA and never actually withdraw funds from the account, just trade between stocks, will I owe any capital gains tax assuming I make a profit? No, you never. Anything in your Roth IRA, especially Roth, you're never paying tax on that ever again. So trade as much as you want in your Roth IRA. You're never paying capital gains. You're never paying your marginal tax rate. That is tax-free money for life, which is why Roth IRAs are so great. Oh, geez, I haven't mentioned State Farm in like 30 minutes. State Farm has rates that can fit anyone's budget. These prices are for everyone. Here's the deal, guys. There is no special rate. State Farm offers just great low rates for everyone. We still got 126 people here. Happy to be with you guys here on a Friday night. Do you like SAN as an international bank? Is SAN a stock? Banco Santander? Never heard of it. Sorry, I've never heard of Banco. Is that no idea what country that's in. Wait, are you sponsored? If anyone from State Farm is watching, yeah, I'll take a sponsorship. Nope. Just if you guys, there are some people that won't understand my Halloween costume. If you've never seen the Jake from State Farm commercials, there's actually a really good YouTube video explaining why people hate Jake from State Farm, and it's actually really funny if you guys want to check it out. Is State Farm stock a buy? What is the ticker symbol for State Farm? Who owns State Farm? I don't know what the ticker symbol for State Farm is. State Farm stock? I don't see it. STFGX, State Farm Growth Fund Overview. Is State Farm not a publicly traded company? Oh, State Farm is a private company. It is not publicly traded. I did not know that. I know Allstate is publicly traded and MetLife is publicly traded, but yeah, State Farm is private. Kudos to them. Ooh, it's a mutual company. What do you think of Lucid? I don't know anything about Lucid. This is Lucid Motors, right? Yeah, it's an EV stock. It's probably they're probably massively issuing new company stocks, and they're probably diluting you. So if you guys want to trade it in the short term and see if you can capitalize, up 45% the last month. I'm sure that's on some kind of news. I don't know. I don't know anything about Lucid. Not a finance question. I saw your video about your previous career. Can you speak to exactly what you did as a missileer and the United States capacity in this area? I'm not going to talk to you about the United States capacity, but yeah, a missileer. There's only one land-based ICBM system in existence anymore. There used to be several. There used to be the Titan II. There used to be the Peacekeeper. I'm an operator on the Minuteman III intercontinental ballistic missile system. So I'm in charge of the maintenance, security, and operations for the land leg of the nuclear triad. The other two legs, being bombers and submarines, were the land leg. So in North Dakota, there are 150 launch facilities. And when I go out into the field, I take responsibility for 10 launch facilities at a time. What are your thoughts on hotel and hospitality stocks? Depends on the company. You know, they're all doing their own thing. Is a hot dog a sandwich? Yes. Yes. It's bread with meat in between it. Hot dog counts as a sandwich. What do you think about that hypersonic missile China launched? No comments. Can't talk about that. Lucid is soaring because they are delivering their first cars. Cool. Maybe once it levels off, I could short it because it's probably going to come crashing back down. Do you have any recommended safe liquidable bond ETF that would make it possible for a money market? Goal would be overall return of 1% to 2%. Engineer, I recommend corporate bonds. So if you want to buy Vanguard's total bond market ETF, this is ticker symbol BND. If you're looking for something safe and stable, I recommend Vanguard's total bond market ETF, BND. Justin, any idea on what about China's recent ICBM launch defied the laws of physics? Well, so our ICBMs, you know, the fastest they go is Mach 23. This is not classified, but they go very fast. But they go, you know, in an arc, like somebody threw a football 6,000 miles. With these hypersonic gliders, they're supposed to go under our radar. So once they take off, we can't detect them anymore. We can't see them, and they go very, very fast. So, you know, at some point, you just wish that people would stop advancing this technology. Let's just keep it at 1994 levels forever. That'd be great. But China doesn't want to play ball, so bummer. Jake, have you done any trades on Amex stock lately? I did, yeah. I did like a put credit spread on Amex a while ago. Amex seemed to be in an uptrend last time I was looking at it. Oh, its ticker symbol is AXP. Yeah, American Express looks like it's doing pretty good. Should I get the US Bank Reserve card? You know, it's The Altitude Reserve, it's I think a $400 annual fee and a 325 broad travel credits. So that's a pretty good deal if you want to get it for a year or two maybe and use the credit, get the sign up bonus, and you should be good. Lily, finally caught one of your live streams, and your costume is perfect. Thank you, Lily. I appreciate that. It's a very simple costume, guys. Just a polo shirt and some khakis. Whew. Jake Baker, there's a story that a UFO shut down a nuclear launch system. Blink if there's any truth to this. Oh no. Oh my gosh. Don't blink. I might make some videos about that when I get out. Obviously, I don't have any firsthand knowledge about that. These events took place in the 60s and 70s, but there actually was a press conference recently of old missileers. They got together in Washington, D.C. because this whole UAP story from the 2004 has been getting traction. These guys that had UFO sightings in the 60s and 70s are trying to retell their story, trying to get attention from the government to get validation for things they saw, things that happened. Unfortunately, I didn't get any press conference because they don't have any videos. You know, these are firsthand accounts from 50 years ago. The media didn't really touch it. Are you keeping an Amex Platinum? Vegas has a Centurion Lounge. But I think Vegas's Centurion Lounge is in the international terminal. So I flew domestic, flew through Vegas, and I was like, where's the Centurion Lounge? And it was in the international terminal, so I couldn't use it. But no, I don't intend to keep an Amex Platinum. I just think the annual fee is too high, and it's just not worth it. Ooh, what are your thoughts on putting emergency funds in a Roth IRA? I wouldn't do that. I would keep it separate. You know, the money you're putting in your Roth IRA, once you take it out, you can't put it back in. Yes, you can take out principal after 5 years, but that's money that you took out and you can't put back, and it's worth much more to you in your Roth IRA if you just leave it in there. How do you think the S&P 500 will perform through the rest of the year? I think the S&P is going to hit 5,000. I think by January or February, S&P 500 will be over 5,000. It just keeps going. I don't see the money supply contracting in the near term. Have you considered becoming a certified financial advisor? You'd be really good. I think I would, Dave, but the problem is I might have to be like compelled ethically to give really boring advice, like telling people to buy bonds in a retirement account. I don't know why. I don't know what, you know, if you're a true fiduciary, I think there's some psychological training that they have to be given to talk to people. Whereas on a YouTube channel, I can just shoot it to you straight. Like, here's the math. I understand you'll get freaked out if the market pulls back, but if you just buy and hold, stay in U.S. equities, hold the index, you know, more or less you'll be fine. Misael, hey, you made it. Another channel member. What's up, Jake? Are you pretty bullish on semiconductors? Do you think AMD and Nvidia are the future? I don't know about the future, but I think their stock prices are shooting up huge. Like, they have good technicals and good prospects for growth in the future. You know, are they overvalued by traditional metrics? Yeah, but in this market, doesn't seem to matter. I think they'll continue going higher. All right, guys, we've been going for about an hour and a half here. I greatly appreciate if you tuned in, if you watched, if you're doing anything festive for Halloween this weekend. I hope you have fun and you stay safe. Great tuning in with you guys. Greatly appreciate you being here. Have a wonderful weekend.